again from Kapchorwa. This is in East Uganda on the slopes of Mount Elgon. This is where Uganda's top elite distance athletes live and train. It's been ages since I've done a video. I've just been really busy. Those of you who've been watching the channel for a long time would know that at the end of my first trip here in 2022, I'd set out to build a training camp here to give others the opportunity to come here and train. And I've spent the best part of this year finalizing the project. The good news is that I'm coming close to completion and there'll be more to share with you in the coming videos. My training has also taken a big hit. I've not been running my usual miles, very busy with the project. I'm someone who struggles to multitask, so I've been spending the majority of my time working on the building and not had the energy to train as well. But as I'm coming to completion, I'm getting more time back and back to train. Good news is I'm back to training as well. Today I did a track workout. I'm at Chemania track with a bunch of other athletes. I've mentioned this track on previous videos. It's 20 kilometers out east of the Kapchorwa town and it's at around just over 2,000 meter altitude. I would say this has become the favored track for the athletes, more so than even the high altitude training track in Teriet. Jacob Kilimo did a lot of his track miles here in the lead up to the Chicago Marathon. Joshua Cheptegei in the lead up to the Amsterdam Marathon. So yeah, really popular track, and it's has a dirt maram surface. And the elites here are really open to others training with them. You can just come along to the track, you can hear their workouts, see them running, try and keep up with them. Need to get back into the flow of these videos. Since it's been a while, I need to sort of warm up, and I thought I'd start with an easier topic. I'll tell you a bit more about the weather here for your general knowledge, and also to help those who do plan to come out here and train. So it's the next morning. I've just finished my easy run. I'm on a walk nearby the camp. Right ahead of me is Kapchorwa waterfalls, which is actually where the camp gets its name from, Kapcho Camp. It rained really heavy last night. My shoes are absolutely caked in mud. It does so quite frequently here. So Uganda is on the equator, which means that we experience much the same temperatures most of the year round. The main thing that changes is whether it's raining or not. The typical description is 2 rainy seasons, March to May, and then September to November. My experience in Kapchorwa is a little different to that. I'd say it's raining 9 months of the year, from the end of March, beginning of April, right up until December. And then there's 3 dry months, January to March. And there's some drastic changes in those dry months. The grass loses its color, goes brown, and then the rainfall returns at the end of March. So the heavy rainfall here means that the land is really fertile. You can grow lots of things here. I've got neighbors growing type of banana plantain called matoke, which is one of the main foods in the Ugandan diet. I've got neighbors growing Arabica coffee as well. And then also it's very good for livestock, so loads of cattle here, goats, and so access to fresh milk all the time. Now in terms of running, that means that the dirt roads here get very sticky, very slippery in the heavy rain. As I said in the video about the roads, there's more and more roads getting tarmacked here, which provides the benefit of giving the athletes an alternative on the rainy days. The other thing to mention is that some of the dirt roads here have a different sort of soil on them called maram, which has better drainage. Those roads dry way quicker than the normal mud roads. And therefore are also better accessible during the heavy rains. But then again, I've heard some of the athletes mention how running in the mud helps strengthen the feet. So it may give an advantage. It may be a positive to these muddy roads. Now, in terms of best preparing yourself for the rains, if you are coming here, you're coming here during the rainy season, I'd recommend obviously carrying a rain jacket. I'd also recommend, if you can, bring a pair of trail shoes to provide you more traction on slippery surfaces. I would also recommend bringing darker colorway shoes as it's very muddy. Your shoes will frequently be getting dirty, and it's easier to clean darker colorway shoes, easier to keep them looking smart. It's the evening now. I'm sat in Kapchorwa, and I'll tell you a bit more about the temperatures here. So on a mountain, there is more temperature variation here than there is at lower altitudes in Uganda. I'll start with the mornings. They tend to be quite cool, sort of around mid-teens in Celsius. I'd done a previous video where I looked into why the athletes wear jackets and tights on their easy runs. And one of the answers I got was about the morning cold, the cold winds. So if you are coming out here, make sure to carry your running jackets, especially those who are from hotter climates. And then over the course of the day, things tend to heat up. The temperatures get to about sort of mid-20s degrees, sometimes in the dry season even higher than that. And being at a higher altitude, there's more exposure to UV rays here, so make sure you carry the appropriate sun protection as well. And then the evenings tend to get cool again, and overnights dropping again to sort of the mid-teens. It can get quite chilly, so make sure to carry your jumpers for the evenings as well. So just as a recap in terms of gear, I'd said prepare for the rain, things like rain jackets. I'd recommended trail shoes, as well as recommending darker colorways with your shoes because of how muddy it gets. And then in terms of preparing for the temperatures, running jackets and jumpers to wear in the cool evenings. So that's it with this video then. If you have questions about running here, feel free to ask me. You can email me at ugandanrunner@gmail.com. Lots more to come with the videos. I have some ideas, but I need to get fitter to shoot some of them. So yes, more videos to come. And also plan to tell you about the camp I'm building, more about the design, what to expect if you do come out here. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.